a sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me.
Hello, everyone. Well, my guest today is Jill Hall, and I'm very pleased to welcome Jill to my Zoom room.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
For sure. Now, Jill lives in Ryder Lake, and for you who are not in Chilliwack or in BC, that's an area in the mountains of Chilliwack. It's a beautiful place. I know because I lived there at one time. So you have property up there, right?
Well, actually, we did have property up there. I lived up there for about 27 years, but more recently, in the last couple of years, we moved down to the mainland, well, Greendale. area.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
just recently.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, but while you were there, though, you discovered something on your property. Is that how I word it?
Well, actually, just to give you a little bit of background, so I was diagnosed with lung cancer in February of 2021.
Oh, okay.
And I never smoked.
Mm-hmm.
My past history is I was a nurse for 22 years, so I've got a medical background, and then more recently, in the last 20 years, I've been a realtor. So with that diagnosis of lung cancer, which was very shocking, having never smoked in my life, or vape or any kind of smoke, inhalation, pot, etc., I did some research, and I found out that radon was the second leading cause of lung cancer.
Okay.
And it's on the rise because our airtight homes, like the BC Energy Step Code is a 5-step code, and every couple of years they step it up for air efficiency. So it becomes, our homes are becoming more and more airtight, without countering the accumulation of radon, which is a radioactive carcinogenic gas which comes from below the soil. It's a naturally occurring breakdown of uranium, and with any building structure on land, with the airtightness, it accumulates into the building. And with the step code, which is increasing our airtightness, as you see in news all the time, airtight, we're slowly killing ourselves because the government is not addressing the buildup. With older homes, we have discovered radon in older homes, but typically it's the newer construction homes which are driving our radon levels to very high levels.
Now, as far as you know, is the government aware of this issue, the link to cancer?
Yeah, the government is aware of the issue, but you know, I think what's going on is there's different groups of government. So like the BC Safe Housing, etc., they don't have scientists in their group telling them, but the radon community have been drumming this drum for over 10 years, and the scientists are not being listened to.
Which seems to be normal for a lot of important issues, right?
Yes. So when we, like Gore Brothers my brothers are local builders, and when I got diagnosed with lung cancer, we started testing homes locally, and we found about 30% of our homes in Chilliwack of 150 had high radon levels. One brother had a radon level of 1,000, BQM3, the safe level is 100.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's 10 times over. This is new construction. My home, new construction, radon levels of 675. My other brother, 800. That was on a second floor bedroom of this little girl's bedroom. So these are really staggering results.
Yeah. So now what can a person do? Like, let's just say you're in one of these airtight homes, you know, and then with the market the way it is, it's very difficult, as you know, being in real estate. How difficult it is to sell and find something new, but then again, you're not solving the problem to the next person.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, we ended up mitigating all our homes because I've got 3 brothers' parents. My parents' home was built in 1960, Fairfield Island, high radon. So we mitigated all our homes. So mitigation is very easy. All you have to do is drill a core through your slab, your cement foundation.
Okay.
You put a pipe in and you vent it.
Oh.
Yeah, so you depressurize your slab so all the radon accumulates into this pipe through a fan, sucks it up, vents it outside. So the radon then never enters your home, and it's highly effective.
So now where does that, once it's airing outside, where does it go?
It just dissipates.
Oh, it dissipates.
Yeah. So radon is naturally occurring. It's in our air, but it's very low levels because it really does dissipate.
Right.
But because of a structure on top of land, it will accumulate.
Right. And again, we're building constantly, right? So obviously it's not getting a chance to dissipate anywhere, most places, I would say.
Yeah, and you know, I think there's a lot of new construction now, like commercial, that you can't open windows.
Right.
Yeah, so that's really harmful because
Yeah.
we have found radon. I found radon as an inpatient at the hospital. So now they're diving into that and looking into their radon levels.
Right.
And we also found radon at the University of the Fraser Valley building
Mm.
at the Veta River.
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking into that too. So, you know, as long as people realize that it's easy to mitigate, it's
Right.
not like, because a lot of people, they think radon and they close their ears. That's the typical thing, because I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
But it's a very serious issue.
Right.
The school district 33, they're going to be testing all their schools for radon.
Cool. Good.
I have to say that I've been on this drive now to raise radon awareness for over 2 years. I've sent out and communicated over 1,200 emails. Everybody in the building industry, government-wise, knows my name.
Okay.
I'm,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm dogged.
Right. Right. Yeah. Right. Well, you have to be.
Yeah,
Right.
my main goal initially was, okay, I'm going to change the building code in Chilliwack, and I'm going to have radon mitigation in all new construction.
Okay.
I contacted Harv Western, city council member, extremely supportive. He's been extremely supportive and has been a driving force for me. And I have to say that many of my contacts I've had in the medical community, in BCRA, and locally with the city of Chilliwack, highly supportive.
Very good.
Yeah, I can't say anything
Right.
bad about anybody that I've gone to for help.
That's good. Yeah. I just want to go back for a step, and you were talking about these airtight homes. Like, what is the reason for that?
The airtight homes?
Yes.
Well, it's the climate change thing. So they're trying to say,
Oh.
like, you know, emissions from the homes. They're trying to say we need airtight homes. It's for the
Oh.
environment.
Right.
So we're helping. Are we helping the environment? I don't know, because with all the fires now, with all the
Yeah.
forest fires, and that's another thing, that with the forest fires, everybody's closing up their windows
Right.
again.
Right.
So typically your radon levels are highest in the winter months because you are sealed up, no windows.
Right. Yeah.
But now with forest fires, that's even driving this radon concern higher. And like I'm getting, because I've been out there quite a bit in news articles, etc., I'm getting multiple calls from people. I'm getting calls from realtors. I'm getting calls from random people saying, you know what, I found radon in my home. What do I do?
What do I do?
Yeah. I've got people calling me that live in a fourplex, for example.
Right.
It complicates it a bit.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes.
when you've got 4 homeowners,
Yes.
but people just have to realize it's super easy to mitigate.
And once they realize that, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
I would think, like, if I was buying a place, there's no way I would want an airtight home where I can't open my windows, you know? I find it difficult in the winter, and even so I try to keep the window open a little bit, but I know it's probably not enough to counter it. But you know, the whole idea of having everything closed up and sealed is
Yeah.
like an alien concept to me, you
Yeah.
know? Like, I actually had 2 windows, my 2 side windows sorry, people, on the side of my fireplace. Originally, those windows didn't open. That's the design. But because I wanted the air conditioner, we're not allowed to have air conditioning, that, you know, the kind that sit out
Right.
facing the road there. I had these windows changed so that I could have that. But even those, like, my daughter took care of my place one time. She said, Mom, I never lived in a place where you couldn't open windows.
Yeah. Well, residential, yes, but more commercial, like schools, etc. Commercial,
That's true.
the hospital.
Yeah.
I know initially when they built the hospital, they had it like you couldn't even open windows. I think they might have changed that years ago for the pediatric ward.
Right.
But yeah, the thing is that they think people have not wrapped their head around that it is not good to have an airtight home.
Right.
Because there's other complications too. There's VOCs and there's CO2.
Right. Yeah.
And there's a particulate matter is usually exteriorly, but VOCs and CO2, another that really affects you too long term too.
And when I went to school, the windows all opened.
Yeah.
We opened the windows in the nice weather, right?
Yeah.
So how do you know? Okay, so what is the test? How do you get your place tested?
Well, you know, I would say to people, I would encourage people to go to Take Action on Radon. That's a website.
Okay.
And they have a lot of information there. They have information on how to test, how to get your tester, when to test. They prefer a 90-day test.
Okay.
Because then, you know, over a long-term period. I would personally recommend everybody buy a radon detector and have it in their home,
Right.
a digital readout, so they know always. Because if you test your home this year and then you retrofit it and seal up everything, put more insulation in, thinking you're helping your electrical bill or hydro bill, you're actually countering that radon is going to be growing.
Because those little detectors must be easy, because I know we have them for, is it CO2?
Yeah.
If you have a gas fireplace, for instance, that might leak.
Yes.
So it's important to have one of those. So it's the same idea, right?
It is the same idea. You can actually get one like a Luft, it's LUFT, and it monitors all the different things, CO2, VOCs, and particulate matter. So, you know, I think that people are starting to become aware that indoor air quality is important.
Well, I'm going to get one.
Good.
And because then if I detect radon in my apartment, I'll let council know that, you know, we have that issue and how easily it is resolved, right?
Yeah. And that's another thing too. A lot of people think because they live in a condo that they're not going to have radon, but actually with a condo with underground parking, you know, you're in the soil, so it can accumulate in your garage, and then it vents up through the elevator.
Right. And we have vents anyway, right? Yeah, you know.
Yeah. And that's called the stacking effect. So typically in condos, it's supposed to be on the top floor.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So, I see. Okay. So is that the same for, like, we have a parking, but it's on the ground level?
Yeah. You know, I would never count, like, I would never negate anything. I would say just test.
Just test. Yeah. It's easy enough to test. All that you need is one person to do a test in their apartment, right?
Well, you know, everybody should test their own apartment.
But I mean, like, to get things started.
Yeah.
At least, and then take it to council, and then council said everybody should get their place tested, or whatever, or they can have it, you know, set something up so that it's done, right?
Right.
Because people here, you know, we're a lot of older people here, and they die, and their places are sold, so it's important to know.
It is
for the next people coming in.
Yeah.
Right. Whether it's safe or not for them.
Yeah. And I really think that people should do their own due diligence too. Like, even if you're buying a place, like, I think as a homeowner, you should do your own due diligence after you purchase it.
But it's not something like I would ever think of asking about or finding out about before you mentioned it, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
There's a huge misconception that we don't have radon on the Lower Mainland. And I have that confirmed with BC Government Ministry of Safe Housing, that the only reason that thought process is out there because of lack of testing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So we need to get after them and whatever. Yeah. So is there a site? Well, you mentioned that
take action on radon.
Yeah. So that's where people can go.
Yeah.
Take action on radon and get more information on what they can do.
Yes.
Okay.
And if they just Google radon, they can get lots of information.
Actually, I did that. First time we spoke on the phone when I did that to see, because I didn't know what it was, right?
Yeah. And there's a lot of information out there.
Yeah, for sure.
And the other thing that I would like to address is that with the radon now, if you, like, people are getting sued for radon, like firemen are suing because they're exposed to smoke and then radon, it compounds their health issues. And more recently, in the last week, there was a school in the UK, a private school, that was sued because students were exposed to radon.
Wow. So
it's coming.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, like I mentioned, that I've had huge support. Harvestering, Dan Coulter, another one, MLA, he really helped me with the BC building code. Getting the BC building code now is changing provincially to include full stack radon mitigation in new construction. But I would like to address that public health. I have been trying to get hold of them for over 2 years now, and they're not responding to me. And of all the people that I would have thought would have been on the bandwagon, it is the public health mandate to address radon. So I'm hoping, I've sent a couple emails. I made multiple phone calls over 2 years, and I'm not sure why they're not engaging with me on this.
Yeah, exactly. You would think, like, as you said, of all
of them.
Yeah.
Because there's no one in the government that's looking at radon. I think public health needs to step up and start addressing this with the government.
Because we're always talking about the cost of healthcare and how to try to take it, you know, make sure you go to doctor, whatever. And I don't think I'm just a little distracted because certain person's phone is going on, but I don't know if you can hear that, but sorry, I had to bring that up. Where was I? I lost track of, with the healthcare system, the way it is, if it was detected and as you said, what's the word, to get rid of it? Mitigate it, there'd be less lung cancer.
Yes.
So that helps the healthcare system, like,
Yeah,
right?
I appreciate you bringing it up, because that was another thing I was going to say. Being in the health industry or health medical community for over 22 years, the medical community is reactive. It's not proactive.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
We react to when we get diagnosed.
Yeah.
But we really need to be proactive. Like radon is, lung cancer is preventable.
Right.
And
It's like going to the dentist. They say if you brush your teeth, if you've lost, that's being proactive.
exactly.
Right. And the dentists encourage people to do that.
Yeah.
I just don't get that one at all.
Yeah.
For them not to be responding to you, and
Yeah. I'm hoping that I will hear. I contacted about 7 or 8 medical health officers, and I'm hoping that they'll respond to me soon.
yes, I wish.
And actually, I'm going to be sending this video to them.
Okay, good. One of the problem with, again, not problem with the issue with the government, there's all these different departments, right? So you can't go to just say like the government in general and say, well, we need to get Fraser Health, because you have to go to them,
Right.
right? Because each governs their own sort of idea.
Yeah. I think that public health would be a really strong force. And I think that that's their mandate, to protect public health.
Mm-hmm.
So I would hope that they're going to step up and really take this charge.
Yeah.
Because as a private citizen, I have been doing it, and I do have health issues ongoing. So
Yeah, for
I
sure.
really need
Yeah.
them to help me out.
Do your job, healthcare system. Because sometimes you're going to speak to them directly. I'm not. I don't know if any of them will see this. But you you said you're going to
I
take
will
it.
be
So there you go.
Yeah.
So do you think you covered everything? Like, is there anything else that
I think I covered everything.
Because I want to make sure we get it all out there.
I guess
as clear as possible.
the only other point I might make is, because since the government is changing the BC building code, they are taking this seriously.
Good. Yes.
So
that's good.
just so the general public realizes, radon is a concern. The fact that the BC building code is being changed to include full stack radon mitigation shows you the government realizes radon is an issue.
There you go. Right. And as you said, everybody that you've contacted, like MLAs and whatever, the Chilliwack's council have all been very, very helpful.
Very helpful.
Moving forward with whatever they can do. Right.
Yeah. Another person, Tara Friesen, she's the head of the environmental services for City Chilliwack.
Okay.
She's got an excellent website on the City of Chilliwack website, and she's been a real driving force too. So.
Right. So you can check that out, the Chilliwack website, their own website. There's a list of all the things that the departments that they have on their website. So it's easy enough to find. Right?
And she has a lot of resources regarding mitigation and financial support.
Right.
So that's a great website to check out. Oh, and the other last thing maybe is the library. So they're loaning out radon detectors.
Oh,
yeah.
No, nice. No, that's great.
So they have 100 radon detectors, and there's a wait list of 100 plus people waiting for them. So
sure.
Chilliwack they're kind of getting tuned up.
Moving forward. And hopefully we can become a leader.
That's my goal. I want City of Chilliwack to be the poster child of radon awareness, so that other communities can pick it up and see what we've done.
Right, very good. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So you've been listening to Jill Hall, and I'm going to make sure that the link for the radon. I keep forgetting things. I'm sorry, people, but I'll make sure that if you want to check things out, you'll be able to find that link and find out things for yourself and what you can do about it. And again, if you can reach out, if you know anybody in the healthcare system, like one of the higher ups or whatever like that, you can help by doing that. And we can all help ourselves for one thing, right?
Perfect.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you continue to do so. And please, this was another important interview. Please share it as much as you can. And we both appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
So take care, everybody, and peace out. Oh, I got to find the off button. I say this almost every time, by the way. Right? Bye.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's a place to be, you'll see.